coming back, I stopped at a turnpike right off the turnpike in New Jersey, and the gas station was like that. There was full service putting gas in. I'm like, man, can't put gas. Oh, I got to do it for you. And then the guy was taking too long to do it. I'm like, man, just I gotta go, man. I got about 1,000 miles left to go. So we had a couple of more people join the room. If you want to tell them, what we're talking about today, and we can dive into that.
I don't see them. Are they showing up? Because they're not showing up for me.
You have Giselle in there. You have Leah in there.
Yeah, we have Giselle and Leah join us right now.
Hey guys, today what we're doing is we're talking about mind shifting, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to focus on things that everybody hates doing. Like the one thing that you hate doing. My example was in business, I hate door knocking, and in real life, I hate getting gas. So we're going to talk about each of us identifying something that, even if we don't want to admit it, is probably holding us back because we choose not to do it, and then bring that to the group and see if, when we communicate these things to each other, if we can give each other tips and pointers and help to make these things better for us. And then going forward, try to implement those things that we hate this week and see if it makes a difference in your business. So I already did mine. Let's start with James, and then we can just kind of go down the line and share what it is that we hate doing.
Oh man, it's kind of hard. And I'm trying to think of what I hate doing. I mean, it's kind of my life's pretty simple, but as far as the work, um, I don't know, man. I guess what I hate mostly about my job, and you guys know that I'm calling buyers and sellers, and trying to get them on the phone is always could be the hardest part. I don't have any control over that, but I hate going into other agents' pipelines, and these are DQ'd. People are updating their pipelines and keeping them on track. That kind of gets under my skin. In real life, I gotta say I hate cleaning my house, even though I can be a neat person. It's something I never want to do, but that's pretty much it with me.
With the going into people's, and you're right, yeah, there's not much, you can't really control what they do as far as their pipeline. You can only control what, you do, but it seems like you're still doing it. You're still going in the pipeline. So that's kind of
Sure.
like a pet peeve. Do you have anything specifically that you're like avoiding doing because you don't like doing it?
No, I love my job, man. I mean, I got my game plan each day. Keeps plenty busy. I can't complain that I don't have enough work ever. Uh, I can, and I like it. The way I enjoy going to those pipelines is fine because my job is to clean them up a little bit, get them caught up, get them all updated. That's part of my job at certain times. So I actually enjoy it. It's just like, wow, these people, if this was my pipeline and this was my money, my chances of getting sales, I'd have that thing dialed in, man. I'd have it all up to date. It makes your job that much easier. You know exactly what to do each day. That's what I do every day. So I got my routine. I know all these agents do have like tons of other things going on with them and stuff. They're out in the field, they're doing showings, they're looking meeting people and all that. So, but I love my work, so not really much. I'd say I don't like about it.
But what about you, Andres?
There's two things. One, on my personal end, is creating more content. Like I know I need to put more content out there, Spanish, to focus on the niche of people that I want to work with. I know I need to do the content. I know what I want to create, um, but I haven't pushed myself to do it and get it out there. Right. Last week, especially after the podcast on Thursday, got together with two agents and we put a set of calls over the next 2 months to create that content. Right. Put it on the calendar, get it done, and then get it out there. So that's one thing I've been just putting aside and focus on other areas and not on my real estate business. Another thing I have to do, and sometimes I'm like, okay, there's no choice. You have to get in front of it, right? He's talking to other agents as well in a capacity to show them the value on the pipeline. Like this morning, I called an agent that has number of leads, had great conversations earlier in the year, and the leads are moving, has said they're moving this time of the year. And my question was, have you followed up? Have you been staying in touch with these leads? No, I have not. And they haven't. And you want to see some level of some type of result, but you have no systems in place to follow up with those leads. You know, they clearly say, I'm moving in 6 months. They raise their hands. They have a house to sell, but there's no follow-up system, just a drip email campaign. Um, it's hard to have those conversations, but that happens more often than we think about.
It does. It does. Let's see if let's get all of the things out first, and then we can all kind of talk about them. I'm just going to go through the list here, and let's see. Leah, do you have something that you want to share with us that you hate doing?
Yes, well, I would mirror your two. Personally, gas is so much work. I'd rather take the trash out. But I figured out a way to do it, and I just remind myself, the dangers of having any gas. So I would say that I've mastered that. I do not door knock. First of all, it's dangerous and it's prohibited here. We have a lot of gated communities. Um, I've done it. It's really probably the worst thing ever in real estate, in my opinion. Um, and cold calling. I just don't do it. That's why I have Cloud Realty. I'd rather call my clients or people in my CRM than buy a list and be that agent who makes 100 calls and is hung up on 99 times.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on the door knocking. So I'm gonna write down these, and then we can go back and address them when we get to the end. But thank you for sharing. That was good. John, do you have some that you hate doing? John, there you go.
Hey, Paul, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Well, uh, I just like joined here. Okay, I missed a couple of things again. Like, sorry about it. So, I mean, I joined a couple of meetings since last week. Okay, especially about the real estate sales training. Uh, the most important thing, like I'm focusing on how to understand who's actually motivated, who's actually not, right? So the question is like, if someone is telling you, uh, hey, I want $1 million for my properties, okay, if you give me $1 million, I'm gonna sell it. If not, don't hesitate to bother me again, okay? So when you feels like this kind of response from the sellers, that means you need to clearly understand he's not motivated. First of all, he's not motivated. He's gonna waste your time, okay? And you have a bunch of people to call, so you can call other one, okay, and save your energy and I mean, try to understand about the motivated seller. I personally believe like if someone is telling you, okay, I'm getting retired, okay, or I'm getting divorced, or maybe like downsize or something, like call it like a valid reason for selling the house, like a pain. We call them pain, right? So when we hear something about this kind of things as their selling reason, so that's time you need to understand like, yeah, this guy is, or maybe this lady is motivated. She wants to sell it, and uh, we just need to use our full energy on him, okay, and so that we can make it happen. So that's what I personally believe. Finding motivated sellers before you understand them, like who's actually motivated, who's not. So that's gonna save your time, save your energy, and also your confidence as well, because you need to save your energy for the right people, for the right targeted people. That's how this cold calling works. Yeah, because it's one of the one more technique of digital marketing because you are connecting with them, and you need to connect with the right people, right targeted people to get the success, right? So that's all from my side.
Awesome. No, I took some notes on that, so we're going to circle around back to that too. Thank you for sharing, John. And I want to make sure we get time for everybody. Giselle, are you here? And did you have something that you don't like doing?
Let me see. Okay. So I would say cold calling and just thinking or just saying in my mind that I don't like it just to as excuse to start because that happened when I do like an open house. Most of the time I do like door knocking the day before. And then I was like, oh my God, I have to do it. Like, it's kind of like somebody's forcing me to do it, but I enjoy it at the time that I'm doing it. Or saying, okay, I'm going to start doing the calls, and by the time I start doing, I enjoy it. So it's something that myself making the objection to. I hate it. That's what I would say. But yeah, really, really, I don't like to start doing the calls, basically.
And that's a lot. A lot of people don't like with the cold calling. Did I miss anybody? Is there anybody in here that didn't get to say what they wanted to say to add to the list?
No, I think that's all.
So, in a nutshell, I think, and let me know if I'm missing any, we have content creation, reaching out to agents, calling agents, and this would be not cold calls. This would just be like kind of like follow up type thing. And then obviously cold calls, door knocking, and then we have time wasting, and then also under time wasting, not being able to identify motivated buyers and sellers, and then having to kind of like weed through the bushes to find the ones that are motivated to waste, and that circles back to time wasting. Um, did I miss any? Is that everything?
Not adding gas to the vehicle.
I was sticking with business, but yes, that's not good gas. Okay, noted. I'll, no, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna start getting gas. I'll just be honest with you guys. As long as I have a Tony, I'm not gonna start getting gas. Only when I have to. Only when I have to. So my mind is set hard on that. Okay, but let's talk about shifting to what we can control and forcing ourselves to do things. And do we think that they affect or don't affect our business? And when it comes to door knocking, I'm just going to start with something that I personally hate doing. I think it does affect your business. I know, Leah, you had said that you're not even allowed to do it in your area. Here we are allowed to door knock. We're not allowed to leave things on the mailbox or check their mailbox, but we can door knock. Um, I do see the benefits of it. Like if you're hosting an open house and you want to go door knock the neighborhood, I have door knocked in the past because we have a client that wants a specific neighborhood and there's nothing for sale in there. So we went and door knocked the neighborhood to see if anybody was looking to sell. So it definitely has the benefits. Is there anybody that loves door knocking and can give us some pointers about door knocking and how it can help?
You're probably asking the wrong crew here. But I was gonna say, rather than door knocking, why don't you guys try participating or getting involved with any local events, farmers market, community, just going to this event and having conversations. Equivalent to door knocking, more a larger environment, a larger a community gathering. That way, you're having conversation, you're engaging with people, and you're not bouncing around from door to door, but rather from person to person within that event.
That's a good one. That's a good idea. See, and this is what the whole point of this was to get
Yeah.
ideas from other people on how we can take what we don't like and turn it into something productive. That's a good one.
And even setting up a booth in some local events, just setting a booth to provide, allow people to come talk to you about what you have to offer about real estate. Just a way to get conversations. If you don't want to just stop anybody randomly and say, hey, how you doing, and start up the conversation, and then bring up real estate. Who's handling your real estate investments?
That is a good idea and reminded me. I don't think I have a flyers sitting around here. I did. It was funny. It was here like just the other day. So we did a booth, and we did a booth with a lender, and I think we each pitched in like $50, and so we got $100 Target gift card. And what we did was we had a raffle, and I had a QR code, and they would scan the QR code to enter the raffle, and they would enter their information. And of course, I had my disclaimer saying, we're going to call you 1,000 times about buying a house now. And they would scan the QR code, enter their information, and then we did the raffle. This was like a couple of years ago, live on Facebook, and gave away the card. It was a great way to get information from people because everybody wanted that $100 gift card. So it was an awesome way to get information. When it comes to cold calling, and cold calling, it's funny how people have different things that they like and they don't like. I won't door knock, but I can cold call all day long. And I think when it comes to calling making the cold calls, there's so many different opinions about, is it a waste of time? Is it not a waste of time? I've gotten great leads off of cold calling. So I don't necessarily know that it's, I would say 100% a waste of time. I think there's that big fear around it, which could be a whole lesson in itself. And kind of to tie into like time wasting and unmotivated buyers, when you have leads that are coming in off the internet leads or leads that you have to make contact with, unfortunately, you do have to, whether it's through an ISA or yourself, contact those people and have that connection. And a lot of getting motivated buyers and sellers is you by how you're presenting yourself, representing the company, and making the connection with people. You have to have that connection to where when they feel like they're ready, they're going to reach out to you. What are some of the ways that you guys are keeping engaged with your clients? What are you doing when you have a lead? Let's say you call me and I'm like, yeah, I might buy a house in like 6 months, maybe. What are you guys doing to keep me on the hook for 6 months?
Gotta keep you involved. Gotta keep you stay on top of mind. If you have the follow up once a month, personally call them once a month. That conversation doesn't necessarily have to be real estate. If they mention they're moving 6 months from now, hey Heather, how are things going? How's the family? Do you got everything set up to for your move in 6 months? Can I provide you somebody in that capacity? You know, we hear agents on what's working Wednesdays. They've mentioned this several times. The follow up doesn't necessarily have to be real estate. Just call them to find out how they're doing, how things are going, uh, and you continue to build that relationship. And as the months get closer, then you can introduce that real estate conversation again. But I think it's important to continuously touch base with them, not just put them on an email campaign and say, hey, they haven't looked at the property in the past 2 months. That's not a follow up. That's not. You just send somebody an email once a month. You need to call them, touch base with them consistently, at least once a month. And
That says it every day. Book an appointment from an appointment. They say they're not ready 6 months. Well, I'm going to keep you on the calendar. I'll check back with you in 30 days. Let them know you're going to reach back out to them. They'll say, that's fine. Yeah, you can call back. Check in with me. You got the report. So that's for sure.
yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I have an agent that at 3, 4 leads. I check about 8 leads out of 30 so far, right? And 4 of those leads are mentioned are moving in 6 months. This time of the year, I asked the agent and he hasn't touched base not once with them. What is the likelihood that they're going to close the deal with him? Most likely not now.
And do you guys know that the CRM does scheduled text messages that you can send out? So if you're having a conversation with somebody and they say something like, oh, well, I have a doctor's appointment next Thursday, or, my grandpa's having surgery, and so on this date, so I can't meet with you until the following whatever. When you get done with the phone call and you're putting your notes in the system, you can then go and schedule a text message to go out. If they say they have something going on Thursday, you can send that text message out Thursday evening, and it can just say something like, hey, I was thinking about what you said today and just wanted to make sure everything went okay with you. Don't say anything real estate related, just that little check-in. Also, what we can do on Technology Tuesday tomorrow too is, do you guys have buyer intake forms that you send out to your buyers and sellers, or seller intake forms then for your listings, where you get their information, you get their birthday, and maybe you can ask them things like their favorite dessert or their favorite, wine, things that they would like, so that you know what kind of personalized closing gifts to get them. And once you have their birthday, you can set up a workflow where they get an automatic birthday card. You can either do that through Postly, I think, or you can just do it through the CRM and send them like a digital one. But you can actually pay for services where you can send people birthday cards, Christmas cards like that through the mail. It just depends on what you want to do and how much you want to spend. But if you're trying to make all those touches, it might be worth it.
Absolutely.
So it looks like we got 2 minutes left in our time here today. Does anybody have anything that they're like, oh yeah, I just remembered this, I don't like this, or any questions they have, or anything particular? I mean, I can show you guys how to create buyer seller forms tomorrow, or we can do Canva stuff. I can show you how to do like bulk create in Canva. Is there anything specifically, any requests of anything you guys want to learn how to do tomorrow? Pretty good with the CRM. So if you have any requests, I can accommodate those for tomorrow.
It's your chance. You're asking the right person here with help.
I have a million things I'd love to know about the CRM. The problem is I'm not authorized to do them. So,
Okay, well, if we don't have any suggestions, I'll just plan something, but it'll definitely be something that at the end of the lesson tomorrow, you'll have something tangible that you can use. So we'll either create something in Canva and then you can have the link, or we'll do something in the CRM and then you'll have that as well. So it'll be something that you can have and you can implement into your business. But that will be the plan for tomorrow.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
either.
But just let the record show that I have no intention of getting gas.
I mean, let Tony know.
Into Mexico. Into Mexico has our full service, every gas station. Never pump gas again.
I actually had to get gas the other day, and I was so frustrated. I was like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I have to get gas. But now I have 3 teenage drivers in the house, so I should never have to get gas at this point because I can just have one of them do it.
See, there you go. Perfect.
All right, guys, that is our time for today. Again, we want to make sure that we're thinking about Sean, Tara, and the baby, and just sending them love. And if you guys have any questions or you need anything, I'm going to put my cell phone number in the chat so you guys have that. Here we go, hang on. And if you guys need anything, text me there. Texting me is better because I'm always on the computer, so if you text me, I can get back to you. But if you have questions or anything, contact me, Andres, Jesse. You guys know how that goes.
Yep.
We'll be here for you guys.